Hello. Good evening, my friends. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Track Mods. I got my friend Andrew from Canadian Starships joining me tonight to be
Good
my
evening.
producer and take care of chat. How you doing tonight, Andrew?
I'm doing all right.
Good evening. It's nice to have you here. AK is here. How you doing, AK?
And
Mary
somebody
is
named
here. How you
Mary.
doing, Mary? Mary is actually here. So
What are you working on tonight,
I
Jody?
will be working on my Enterprise Refit Miranda class Reliant mashup that I showed you guys a small model of at Wonderfest. I don't have the model here. I gave it to Blair, and he brought it home. But it's the Enterprise Refit with a third nacelle that goes over via the roll bar here from the Miranda. So the third nacelle gets mounted to the bottom of this. And did a few modifications when I started this last week. Let's see, I put the windows in for one thing. Not a modification, but I put the windows in, and luckily I'm not trying to build the Enterprise, so these windows are going to be fine. Because they don't match up with what's actually on the Refit Enterprise. Let's see, I dug out the impulse crystal thing in the center here, and I replaced it with the one from the Excelsior, just because it's a little bit nicer and has more detail. And I took the lower sensor dome and I removed the innermost dome there, the highest part, and I replaced it with the, so this is the Reliant one, and I'm going to use this one because it's a little bigger and it has a clear piece, and it'll still fit on there nicely, and it has a clear piece that comes out each end, and I can nicely light it. But the dome it had was just smooth and there was absolutely no detail, so I took the one from the Enterprise. Why am I all choppy again? I'm going to get rid of the second camera. We don't need that. Maybe that'll help. I'm having problems here.
Well, it's
And
your
I did
overhead
the
camera
same
that's
thing.
choppy.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why
Yep.
it's having a hard time.
The other camera,
Never used to.
the other camera is doing
So
better.
this MX Brio. Yeah, this one's, well, this one's my Samsung Galaxy 9.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is the MX Brio, which is supposed to be a good webcam. So then if this camera is working fine, then it's not my internet connection that's causing me camera problems, correct?
Correct. You could
So
you
I
could
was
try
always go ahead.
you could try disconnecting your Brio and rejoining it, seeing if refreshing it works. Sometimes you just kind of turn it
Okay.
off and turn it back on again.
Just kind of the only way to do that is for me to unplug it and plug it back in, but then I'll have to log out of my browser because I got the other camera. Let's see what happens. This one is associated with my mic, so I don't know if you can still hear me.
I can still hear you.
Can you even still hear me?
Yep. Can still hear you.
Because that camera is associated with the microphone. All right. Looks like your camera was unplugged. Plug it back in or select a different camera. All right, so I'm going to go back into my settings and see if I can grab it again. There it is, MX Brio. It's back. But it's not coming on. I'm terrible at this technology stuff.
That's a really nice picture.
What if I just did that? Yeah, I know. This is the camera that I used to use, and this is what I record all my videos with. Is this Samsung 9. The last couple videos I put out, I tried using the overhead camera, the MX Brio, and recording onto my computer like you're supposed to do, and it just doesn't look as good. I guess it's the camera. I thought it was a good camera. It is, but this is backwards. No, this is not backwards. So what I did with the neck, let's get back to work here. Maybe see what chat's saying.
Well, you've got AK saying you can't go wrong with anything Samsung.
That's what I've noticed. Let's see if I can get a better view. This is just sitting on like a little mount on the table underneath my monitor. So I removed about a half an inch out of the neck here to shorten it, just to squish it down a bit. So I'm hoping that once I put it on the saucer here, we got just a little lower profile.
And what did you do about the thickness issue that you had?
The thickness issue?
Because you were saying that the neck was a different thickness.
Yeah, so that's actually the first thing I'm going to be dealing with.
Okay.
So I'm so used to going up like this, so I got to do this now. Well, I could just do this. Bear with me for one moment. I'm just going to mount this to the overhead mount.
That'll do it.
That. Now it appears to be upside down. So let me just rectify that. So I'm using an app on my phone called Camo, and I have the same app on my PC. It's kind of like OBS, but just a little easier to use, a little more idiot friendly. And it seems like I can do most of the things that you can do with OBS. Like I can zoom in and pan around and stuff like that. I lose a bit of resolution because I'm using a cell phone here for a camera, but digital zoom is not exactly the greatest. Let's see if I can get just a little bit closer.
Trying to zoom in on that Tim Hortons cup, I see.
Trying to avoid the Tim Hortons cup. All right.
Not sponsored.
So as I was showing, I removed those. Oh, you can really see that. I removed those inner domes and replaced them with the Enterprise one. So I'm using the Reliant bridge and I'm using the Reliant lower sensor dome. But I wanted the detail. I wanted those concentric rings that you see on there, which is a nice part of it. So what I'm going to do with this is I've sort of filed it down, but I ended up losing detail. There's two nice grooves that are on this, and I cut below the grooves, and I wanted to try to preserve those. But just the act of gluing it and trying to even it out and get rid of that step sort of transition, I kind of lost those. So I found myself a piece of this plastic here with the ridges on it. So I'm going to cut a thin strip, and I'm going to put maybe 2 or 3 of these lines worth of ridges. I'm just going to sort of wrap it right around this and give it a bit of detail. It's going to be raised up. I was thinking about carving into this and inlaying it, but I didn't think about that.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Very long. Yeah, so I didn't think about it for that long. I thought about it for a few minutes, and then I said, you know what? I think it'll look fine still as like a raised band, right? It'll look like a reinforcement
I know from experience what it's like trying to channel that out. There's a section on the secondary hull of the Enterprise E, the 1400 kit, that is a raised panel that should be recessed.
Oh, really?
That's fun cleaning up and getting rid of and making it look
So
right.
you gotta shave the panel
File it down and yeah.
and then carve it out.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of carving out, my father-in-law today gave me a whole bag load of tools and stuff. And a really nice, useful part of that was this pack of bits here. They're all brass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one's not brass, but the rest of them are brass. And we got different size ball burrs, and they're not the gritty ones. They're the ones with the teeth in them.
Yep.
And they're all like that. We got different sizes and shapes. So yeah, that's a very useful set right there for me. And then there was another one of these. This is a good one too. It's made for cutting ceramic tile and stuff like that, but you can use it very nicely on plastic model kits. I got one like it, but it doesn't have as much cutting area on it. So now I have one with a lot more cutting surface. Go back. I wasn't even on StreamYards. I was still on my Camo camera app window, and I didn't even realize it. Back to the StreamYard screen. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut that. I'm going to flip this up out of the way. And I have some flat stock here. Where is my ruler? There we go. We got the nice metal ruler. So I'm going to start by taking a strip of, say, 4 grooves, and I'll probably cut one off and narrow it down because 4 looks a little wide.
What time are you streaming till?
Well, whenever I'm finished. I might go more than 2 hours, but if you have things you need to do, then that's no problem with me.
No, just
I'm not used to having a producer.
Mm.
I usually do this alone.
And AK says, "Sweet puppy pad."
Yeah, they're great for painting and working on. If you spill anything on it, I wish I would have had one when I opened my paint the other day, last week. If you spill something on it, it just kind of soaks all in. It doesn't run everywhere.
And Doug Smith is here saying hello.
Hey, Doug. Nice to have you here. Good evening. Doug's another one of our new HTM members. Nice to have him. He makes some pretty nice looking models. He's doing some good work. And seems like a pretty nice guy. It's always fun to have him in the chats.
And we've got, you'll have to remind me how to say this.
That's Imadawa.
There we go.
So that's my brother-in-law, Cameron.
And everybody's saying hi to everybody.
Last weekend was Cameron and his brother Johnny's birthday. And we had an excellent dinner. And last weekend was a very good friend's birthday. And we had a good weekend there. And Friday is my birthday.
Oh, very cool.
And we're going to do something that we haven't done in a few years. We're going to play my croquet game that I invented that I call Booze and Balls. And it's basically extreme croquet with obstacles and hazards, things like that. There's bumper shots, there's a bridge, there's tunnels, there's a ramp with a gap, and the wicket is a ring in the middle of the gap. And there's a quarter pipe that I made. So you go up the quarter pipe like this, and then the wicket is horizontal in the air, so you have to go up through and then land back down on the quarter pipe ramp. Yeah, it's really difficult, and it's really fun. There's actually, well, I can actually show it to you. There's a championship belt for it. Just gotta retrieve it off the wall here.
And Felix Herrera 7565 is here saying hello, everybody.
Hey, Felix. That's one of Ricardo's friends. So there's the championship belt that I made. And when you win it, you get your name burned into the nameplate. So these are all the people that have won it before. And they usually win some prize money. And they get to bring this home until we play the next game.
Medwa says, yeah, that was so fun.
There's Johnny right there. He won it twice in a row. He's the only one who has. Cameron's brother. He's the only one who won 2 years in a row. And the last person to win it right there, Jerry Leroy, that was my dad. So usually I don't have that to show people because whoever won the last game has it, right? But my dad was the last winner. And, he passed away, so I grabbed it from his house. And we haven't played a game in a few years. And this weekend will be our first time playing again in quite a few years. All right, so I got a strip here. I don't know if we can see the, if I can raise this light a little bit. Trying to fandangle all my half-ass equipment here and try to get something working in order. I don't have a light for this, or I don't have a mount for this light because I took it for my camera. How's that? There's too loud. There's Johnny. I love that belt, he says. Okay, that's actually going to look pretty good. I'm just going to see if I can smooth off the one edge. Yeah, we're playing it at Chiquetto's on Saturday. So if you want, you can come with me to Kevin's and help me collect all the obstacles and all the game pieces. Because I had to store them at a friend's place because when we moved here, we had no room to store that stuff. So a friend of mine let me put it at his place in the shed. I'll have to go collect all that. So I'm just kind of holding this in between my fingertips with a little pressure, pressing down. And I'm just pulling the edge of it.
And Too Loud says, who's that?
Tanya's boyfriend. Tanya's boyfriend, Jay. Guy with the glasses and the sideburns and the mouth and the hands and arms and that, you know, it's got legs. That guy. So there, I got that nice and smooth. Both edges. I'm gonna try me extra thin. I don't use this stuff all that much because for what I'm doing, it's fine when you're putting together two pieces that fit together with locator pins or, you know, ridges or whatnot. But when you got something that you're just trying to glue onto something else, it's kind of tough to not have that instant setting.
Do you have any clamps?
I do, yeah. I have some little clips that I can clip onto it.
Too Loud says, "Oh, I see. Yeah, I met him on Saturday."
That's right.
Saturday.
Saturday. Oh, it doesn't reach. It doesn't reach all the way across there. Suppose I can put it right here. And I can put one right like that. That reaches in there just nicely. So now I got to clip that off a little bit. I'm just going to leave some extra. I'm not going to try to trim it close right now. Got a little bit ahead of the game before the stream there. I addressed the underside here where there was a hole because the back angle of the neck and the front angle aren't the same.
Yeah.
So when you remove some of it, when you remove some of it, the top is wider, and I was left with a little hole there. So I just patched it in with a piece of styrene, and filed the edges down, and tried to do my best with the seam right here. That's looks not bad. Can't see a line. Tough part's going to be here. I don't know if I should have glued this together before putting in that photon torpedo detail, but it looks like it'll just slip in. Doesn't look like there's any overlapping lips here. It looks like it's smooth and it'll just slip right in the front of it.
Yeah, if I remember properly, I think it does.
Yeah,
I think it would be a pain to try to get in from the back.
Yeah, well, you can't do it on this one. This is the back of the neck. That's actually holding on there pretty decently. So what I did do though here was I trimmed away a little bit of this little bottom part that came to a point. I trimmed that and I filed it flat so that I can butt this right up against it, and it should be even on both sides.
AK wants to know, will you be adding lights?
Yeah, this is gonna have full lights. No flashing, no lights or animated lights or anything. Just static lights. I don't know how to do any of that fancy circuitry yet. Not quite there yet. But yeah, it's gonna have all the windows lit and whatever else I can light up. So as I said earlier, I'm not worried about making it accurate to the Enterprise or to the Reliant because it's neither. It's its own unique thing, so I can add extra things that are lit and I can take away lights. There we go. Just apply a bit of this to either side. Make sure it gets right in all of it. And, clip that. This. Back on. aside for now. Let it sit, get all nice and toasty. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is drill the windows off screen. You guys don't need to watch that. That's a boring process that everyone knows how to do. This is nice though. They're not drilled through, but they're like templated. They're like imprinted in there.
Yep.
So they're easy to drill out.
Now, are you leaving all the panel lines?
I was thinking about sanding that all away, but I don't know. Because of the fact that one of my nacelles is not going to have that.
Yeah.
The 537 Reliant doesn't have that. It's nice and smooth. So I can either use 2 Reliant nacelles and 1 Enterprise one, or the other way around. I have it set up for the 2 proper Enterprise ones because they'll fit in the pylons the correct way, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of need to use those 2.
It'd probably be easier filling them than it would be sanding them.
But then I'll lose the main panel. I don't want to lose the main panel lines. I want to get rid of these little lines, but I don't want to lose those.
Because if I remember properly, they are recessed. All those little weird panels are recessed panel lines, right?
Yes, and they're not as deep as the main panel lines. So I figured I could sand those away, and I would still have the main panel lines because they're deeper.
Yeah.
Well, in most places, it's not consistent. There's a spot here where it's barely a line at all. And back here, they're actually not very deep towards the back. So I don't know. Maybe I would have to scribe these a little bit deeper and then try to sand it. What would you fill it with?
Some sort of putty.
Some sort of putty? Drywall mud? That's all I have. Aside from this stuff. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Wait, no, I do have... what's that? Mary gave me some stuff for... Where did I get it? I got some stuff somewhere. It's like a 2-stage... it's like a 2-stage sculpting putty. Where did I get that? And where did I put that?
You'd probably want to use something fairly light.
I got it somewhere. I did get my matte clear coat, though, today. So, that's a good thing. And you know what I need to do is think of a way to get these... let me see. 1, 2, 3... 4. I need a way to set this up so that these pylons don't fall apart and droop away.
Yeah, you definitely need some support on that.
I was thinking, the only idea that I had was that if I could, let's see, how's that going to be? Something like this. Something like this. Should have left that in place. So if these coming in together, this doesn't go in there very much, does it? All we have is like that little, just whatever you see here, that's as deep as it would get. So if I was to take sort of a thin metal piece, that could be like, almost the whole length of this, and then have it come down right into this, and then a V coming out to the other one, so they're essentially both attached to that metal V.
And you'd probably want to attach that metal V to something on the inside of the secondary hull, just so
Yeah.
it's not flopping back and forth. Just because that plastic's not going to give you much of an anchoring point.
No. It's not. Oh, I got tape there still. I'd almost glue this piece into position, right? There's no reason for that to be a separate piece. Because then I could, I don't know. Maybe I do want this to be a separate piece. Because then I could set it up like that and then add it in. I don't know. I've never done a refit Enterprise before.
Well, and the 537 is not exactly the best one
Mm-hmm.
to do.
That's what I've heard. It's not a very
AK's done dinner, and
kit.
apparently he's going to watch an episode of The Next Generation with Ferengi and Loxana Troy.
Oh, well, that could be what he's going to do. So I've been watching The Next Generation. I'm about in season 2, and let's see, the last one I watched was the second episode with Loxana Troy, where she's going through her Beta Z sort of menopause sort of thing, and she's after all the men on board, and she's after Captain Picard, and they're trying to hide out in the holodeck.
Yep.
So that was the last one I watched. And even though I haven't watched it since it aired and it ended, it seems like not long ago. Like I remember it like it was, a couple weeks ago that I watched them. And I've encountered 2 episodes so far that I haven't seen. The Pac-Led one, where they kidnap Geordi and they want Geordi to beef up their ship and stuff. Yeah, we look for things. You're smart. We want to be smart too. I'd never seen that one.
So apparently I was wrong. AK is drinking wine.
It's wine. It's not the episode of The Next Generation. Or something even more interesting. Let's see, I could tape this in place temporarily so that I could plan out what I want to do. And that will help me line things up and sort of devise a way to do this, because I have flat stock metal. I can find something that I can use, and I have ways of cutting metal and doing whatever I need to it.
It's always nice to be able to do some metal work.
I even have a friend who has a forge. At least he said he does. I haven't seen it, but he said he has a forge. And then I have another friend that offered me to use his fully equipped woodworking shop if I ever
That's always handy.
If I ever wanted to do any luthier projects or like build instruments or something like that, which would be nice, because I haven't really done much of that since I moved to the apartment. Well, not since I moved to the apartment, but since my dad passed away, because I was working out at his place, right? It was a good way to go out and spend some time with my dad, and also have a place to do some woodworking and stuff like that I can't really do in the apartment building here. But then I haven't been able to do that in a couple of years.
So Doug Smith says, Next Generation is the best Trek, Picard is the best Captain, D is the best Enterprise.
Agree. Although I really, really enjoyed Deep Space Nine and thought it was a very excellent show.
And AK says, no, the other Menage was in my younger days.
Okay. So if this goes... Oh, so it actually goes in there with a little bit of force. It does fit in there pretty tightly. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting it to fit that snugly in there. I thought it was going to be kind of loose, but yeah, that does not have much... that doesn't have much in the way of stability. Right there. Even if the end of it is tightly glued, which you can't get the edge to the other edge. I could probably get a hammer out, or unless maybe you glued one layer at a time in there. But it doesn't seem to... It looks like you'd have to do some filing on here and then the little edges of this to even get those to meet up together and become a seamless line.
So Jody,
yes,
can I show you an option for your panel lines?
Absolutely, of course.
All right.
I'm open to any suggestions, especially from you.
This should be working.
Whenever you get it on there, just full screen yourself.
Oh, there we go. If I do this, so I've got I've got the perfect plastic putty. Your Vallejo putty would probably be fairly similar.
Yeah.
And this is
tube.
This is that saucer, right?
Yeah,
with those panel
kit.
lines. Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Don't mind the rough paint work. I did this when I was a kid. It was the lights and downs Enterprise. So if I just take a little bit and I just work it into the panel, it fills those panels just like you're grouting.
Yeah.
And then you can take a toothpick
and just clear out the large panels.
Clear out the main ones.
Yeah.
And you might need to go over the whole thing a couple of times before it's fully smooth. Give it a light sand after you're done. Bob's your uncle. You got a smoothie.
All right. That's a good suggestion. I'm
That's
not
what I
going
would
to
do.
use my little... I'm not going to use my little tube of Vallejo for that because it won't be enough. I'll get something else.
But yeah, do a couple passes and it'll be smooth as an Android's bottom.
Excellent. Thanks, Andrew. That's a good tip.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if that would work, so I figured I've got this old broken kit from when I was a kid that has those panel lines, and I thought, I would try. And you can see where I've tested it, and it's starting to not be able to see those panel lines in those two sections. So
yeah, great. And then a couple layers of paint, that'll be gone. In case it has a little bit of alcohol on your finger, we'll keep it off your finger.
Keep what off your finger?
Not me.
All right.
There was a big sharp bit of flash. Well, not flash, but where it came off the sprue. It was sharp and pointy. So I'm just getting rid of that just so it doesn't scratch me anymore. It poked into my thumb and wasn't nice. There's another one right there.
Oh, he's saying the putty. AK is saying the putty. Well, it's a water-based. The Perfect Plastic Putty is a water-based putty, so
Yeah, so it's not
it comes
really
off
gonna
pretty easy.
stick to your
And
finger much anyways, right?
and Doug Smith says, I didn't realize that was you, AK.
All right, so I'm gonna put this side in too. So I'm gonna have to figure out. Oh no!
Ooh, at the end of the roll.
That's okay. I got a big drawer full of rolls of tape. I call it my drawer full of mixed tape. And
Which brand is that?
got this. I don't know. Edge lock Scotch blue. So it's Scotch.
3M blue. Got it. Yeah, 3M blue is the stuff I use.
We got some green stuff here. Painter's tape. That's not open yet.
AK says, I have not worked on plastic in so long. I was not aware there is a water-based putty. Yeah, it's amazing. And what's great is you can actually water it down into a slurry. That looks like double-sided tape, Jody.
It's double-sided duct tape.
Ooh, that'll mess something up pretty good.
Yeah, it's two-sided duct tape. So it's pretty much only the adhesive from the duct tape.
Yeah. So so the Perfect Plastic Putty being water-based, you can actually water it down into a slurry, and it'll self-fill gaps, so it'll like get drawn in. It's pretty cool stuff. When you're doing the Grissom, I'd suggest having a tube of it on hand.
Yeah, do you think, have you taken the Grissom kit and taken a look at it? And
well, I don't know if I'm going to
be trying to determine.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to participate or not, but it's sitting on my shelf. If I do, basically I'll be taking the saran wrap off of it on the stream. So.
Oh, you haven't opened it? No, I was just wondering if you've like had a look at the kit itself to, look at the way it goes together and the build. And I guess you don't really do that unless you're planning on building it, right?
Yeah. Well, the one thing there's a potential upcoming project, and the Grissom would be roughly in scale with it, and I think that the Grissom would be a interesting ship to use in partnership with the project to demonstrate some cool lighting effects that are possible.
Oh.
So I might have a reason to build one. So
excellent.
And AK says, cool, I was just thinking I will need it for the Grissom. Yeah, get it for the Grissom. And AK says, I looked at it briefly. I've not tried dry fitting. Might do that soon. The one thing I'm aware of is that the chiller grills of those interestingly designed warp nacelles are not transparent on the kits. So for purposes, I would either need to get the aftermarket parts from Lake Monster, or try my hand at taking a mold of it and recasting it in clear myself.
They're not transparent, but they're thin enough that you can get a very nice amount of light through the thin parts of it. And then the other part, like the heatsink part that sticks out, that's thick, and it's totally light blocks itself, because you're looking at the edge of it, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing it like this, and they're all stacked up. And then the inside part where they're all attached, that's just one thin layer like this, not even as thick as this here. It's really thin.
So might be able to mask those off then, and put the gunmetal on the outside parts, and just let the light shine through the kit plastic. because that's what I'm planning to do with the Excelsior, the 350 Excelsior, on the warp engines, because I plan on lighting the grill section, not the top section.
Yeah.
And
just the sides.
Yeah, and basically doing the gunmetal on the fin portions and let the light come through the print plastic.
Yeah. Oh, I was rejoicing on how tight the other one was. Look at this.
Yeah.
It doesn't even... I wonder what happens if I flip them around. Maybe I got them the wrong way. Maybe they only fit each in one side. Oh, that's way loose. And that's not as tight, but it still fits in there snug. Okay, so these are the same top and bottom? No, they're not.
So
No, they're not.
Given that you're going to be creating some inward pushing tension by putting the roll bar on.
Yes. That's why I was
you might be able to get away. You might not need to put the metal piece
probably
in.
hold them in place.
But I would probably lay down all kinds of epoxy on the inside of the secondary hull where they come through. Like how far do the anchors come through? Do they actually
they don't even protrude the inside here. No, they don't even.
Oh.
They don't even make it to the inside. Like if you weren't going to run wires, I'd just fill that whole thing right there with epoxy and boom, you'd be good to go.
Yeah, that still doesn't give you much to anchor to.
No. Not much at all. But I figure when this is glued, because this will be glued here too, right? There's a nice amount of surface area right here that can butt up against this part and glue together. And then once that's on, and then this is going across, that's going to pull them together.
Yeah, it'll prevent them from sagging, definitely.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I might have to even, if I remember, I think I had to squeeze them in a little bit when I attached this on the little model. I think I had to pull them in a little.
Yeah, could you is there any way to get a bit of a a bit of a wire or something, like anchor it inside the pylon, feed it through, and then epoxy it to the inside, just to kind of give you a bit of an anchor point so they don't come out at all?
Like a stiff wire?
Yeah.
So just so that doesn't pop out this way?
Yeah, so if you anchor it inside the pylon, have it come through, and then just attach it to the inside of the hull. Like pull it straight down and anchor it to the inside of the hull. That would just... I
wonder if I could put a little pin through right here.
Yeah, so something that you could bend over on the inside and epoxy it to the side of the hull. That just might do it for you.
But there's a little in the edge of the pylon here, there's like these divots. And once this pylon is glued together and secured tightly, perhaps I could just put a little pin right through this way that goes into this plastic part and then right through and bends around, right?
Yeah. AK says, laugh out loud, that reminds me of the early 70s. Enterprise models, getting the nacelles to work was hell.
Yeah, they're not very well designed. There's Steve. Hey, Steve.
Stephen Martin's here saying, good evening, guys. You may want to stabilize the strut with a few small pieces of brass rod. Yeah, well, it's going to be stabilized by the Reliant roll bar that's going across.
Yeah, because we were in the midst of planning on something, and then Andrew actually reminded me that this Reliant roll bar is going to kind of hold it together with tension. So we're going to have this.
My biggest concern on this right now is that you enough on the inside of there to keep those pylons secured in well.
Yeah, this one won't stay in on its own right now as it is. There's no way I could even just dry fit it without gluing it.
Because those little plastics, inserts they give you on those really isn't going to do a whole lot.
So we're going like this, Steve. We're doing that, and then we're putting a third nacelle on the underside of this. Let's see. Where's my? I should have had my photo ready. Where's my photo? Here's one. So I'm trying to recreate this in larger scale.
The what I would be more concerned about than drooping, since you've got the roll bar, is simply them coming out because of the weight of the extra nacelle and everything.
So coming out from the
being pulled out,
pulling out this way.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking if you could get something in between those nibs that you could bring in further and anchor down on the inside of the hull, it would just prevent it from pulling out over time.
Yeah, they should have made this longer. You know, what I could do is actually make this longer. I could cut this off and add a piece of styrene that extends out further than this does. And it'll go right in, and you could even link it up to the next one. Or I could put a reinforcement piece across this way, like a flat piece.
Yeah, well,
it goes right in between these two, and then it'll just attach right to that piece.
If you could even, I would, for example, something the thickness of a Coke can, right? If you could get something like that thickness, that thin, just inside, and then anchored to the inside of the hull, like anchored inside the pylon and then anchored inside the hull. Yeah.
Bending around, and then
that would probably, as long as you had enough of it on the inside to really secure down well, and you had it going far enough up the pylon, it would create that inward pressure that would prevent the pylons from being pulled out by weight.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think something that would be relatively strong but relatively thin, so that it's not causing you problems inside the nacelles, pylons, because you still need to get your wire there, right? Now, is there enough space in the pylons to run the wires without trenching them out?
I think there is, if I use the real thin wires. But also I have somewhere in the tape drawer. So I have this.
What is that?
This is it's copper. It's adhesive copper strip.
Well, you know what?
Use to run wires, and I can solder. I've already tested it, and I can solder to it very easily.
So that's
going to be good for this part.
I know, but that might kill two birds with one stone.
You think I don't know if it's strong enough to be a reinforcement.
No, why? You can just tear it apart?
Yeah, I can rip it pretty easily.
Yeah. Then I probably wouldn't use that for wiring. I'd probably do some of the 30 gauge wire wrapping wire, if you've got any.
No, all I have is I have this silicone coated wire, which is pretty thin, but it's not that thin. It's not thin enough to go in here uninterrupted. And I have these super extra thin wires that are on the pre-wired SMDs that I cut off and keep. So I have a lot of those, but they're only a certain length. They're only, you know, this long because they're just remnants from my SMDs. And those are super thin that they can go in there unobstructed. That's not going to cause an issue, I don't think, at all. If I have to make a trench, I can do it like with a couple strokes of just an X-Acto knife. It's pretty thin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly how thin these SMD wires are. That's what I have. Those are the...
Yeah. AK says, I like the idea of using a brass bar along the side of the strut into the bottom section of and bending it. Yeah, it's just that there's not a lot of space to get something through there.
Yeah.
A brass bar might be a little bit too...
Like Andrew was saying, it has to be like thin like a pop can.
Steven says, yeah, I just don't trust that joint in this kit. A weak point prone to break. I like your pin idea. I would do something. AK says 0.8 millimeter brass rod should work.
Yeah, Steven says any of that stuff though.
Steven says, I just received Andy's starter light kit from the UK. Looking forward to seeing what it can do. You're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, the inner lights kit?
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, well, this is something I'll have to figure this out. And then my third nacelle is going to be mounted on part of this strut from the Reliant. There's another half of it somewhere over here. Let's see, that's an Enterprise one. There's the Reliant one. So these are very, very different from each other. The Reliant one and the Enterprise one. Mm-hmm. They're totally different. So if we look at the, it's not only narrower, the Reliant one is narrower, but this, where you have this crystal or whatever this blue light thing is supposed to be, yeah. On the Enterprise one, it's part of that front grill piece, and on the Reliant one, it's part of the main nacelle piece, and this grill is totally different. You can see the two ends of it there. Those are way different. They're not even the same shape. But I don't think that's going to matter. That's negligible. This one's going to be in the center. It's going to be kind of like this. Like that. And then it'll be mounted on... Cut this at the line right here. Well, I had the other piece of it somewhere that doesn't have the full piece. And then that's going to be mounted on the underside of the torpedo launcher. Boom, like that. All right, how am I doing for time? It's 10 o'clock. Hey, there's Ron. I made it. Could you repeat everything from the beginning again? I missed it up to now. Well, I'm working on this. I'm trying to recreate this in in a larger scale. Whoops. What have I done? What have I done? There we go. I removed myself. Hey, that's now I have 2 cameras on. Okay.
You've got 2 instances of the same camera. Somehow. Are you there? Are you there, Jody? So Jody, we couldn't hear you. We couldn't hear you because
you're seeing that too.
So Jody, you removed the wrong one. We couldn't hear you because you removed the wrong one from the stage.
Yeah, my screen. Oh, is that what happened?
Yep.
And this one was like glitching out. I'm gonna close. No, I didn't remove the wrong one. There. Okay. So I need this one. But there. I need it as a full screen. See, because my mic is associated with my MX Brio. That's why you couldn't hear me. I did remove the wrong one, but I shouldn't have removed it at all. It needs to be on the stage. So that with audio only. And I'm using my, which was supposed to be my secondary camera, as my main camera. Is yeah, this one, my slam slung. Okay, so what's the top and bottom here? I should probably look at the picture.
So Stephen Martin says the
big panel I think is on the top, right?
Oh, the blowaway panel?
Yeah, go ahead with Steven's comment.
Says, inner lights, I'm going to upgrade my Death Star 2 firing sequence. Going to be killer.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, this the side with this panel on it goes on the top. Am I correct? So I think I had them backwards.
I'm sure you could put them in any way you want. You are modding it.
That's true. It's not going to matter. But that's supposed to be there for a reason. So if you relocate that to a different place.
Pretty sure that panel goes on the outside, not the inside.
Okay, so it would be on the bottom side of it.
Yeah, so the outboard side, not the inboard side.
Okay. So I had it right.
The 3D painter says.
I see the.
Yeah. The 3D painter says, yeah, man, this is going to be awesome. Biggest ship build so far, question mark?
Actually, yeah, this will be the largest model that I've made so far. All the other models have been 1,000 scale and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Like this little guy right here. Look how cute he is.
Well, build 1,000 scale Enterprise D. That won't be too small.
No, I'd love to be able to get one. That would be excellent. Yep. And I pretty much completed this. I don't know if you saw it last week, Andrew. There's no lights in it, but there's my little, I'm calling it the Sternbach class USS.
Your Wonderfest scratch build.
Yeah, my Wonderfest scratch build, which I completed scratch building when I got home, but
yeah,
there it is anyways. I still need to figure out a way to add some red things to the back there, so I got some more impulse engines.
Gives me Protostar vibes.
That's a fun little model.
It gives me Protostar vibes.
we call it the Equinox there, whatever, the
Yeah,
Nova
yeah.
class. The shape of the saucer there kind of reminds me of a Nova class. I use the 1000 scale Reliant impulse engine clear parts for my deflector dish on the front.
Yeah. All right, Jody, I'm just going to refill my coffee. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Do that. Okay, so I'm going to switch sides. This panel goes at the bottom. So I got to work on this side. And I should work on the one that's loose anyways, that doesn't want to fit in there, because I need a way to get this to go in there and stay in there before I even apply glue. Oh, I'm pretty confident that this is gonna hold it together nicely. Shouldn't pop out, but you should always be better safe than sorry. Okay, so got this and this. Need one more piece of that. There it is. That's going to be there, and that's going to be there. So I also need to look at how this is going to hook into the top of my Enterprise nacelles. So I might need to use some of the Reliant parts that connect to the corner. I guess you kind of want to finish the corner and have those, what do you call them, super lasers, turbo lasers, or whatever they got on the corner of the Reliant, right? It's kind of part of that roll bar thing.
Yeah, do you have any sprue that you could use to help finish that?
Well, I have the Reliant kits that I could use to help finish that, because I think I'm gonna need the downturning piece. I can't mount this right to there like that, because it's probably gonna be too close, and it might interfere with the. You see how if I have this right on like that, then my little pod there is at the exact same level as my nacelle. And then I might as well be just attaching the nacelle right to that, which actually wouldn't be that bad. But it is a little bit nicer when it has the little, it'll have the little pylon coming off, right? So we want this much. So I'm going to need downturning piece out of the Reliant kit. So just go to the tickle trunk shelf here and see if I can find it. Where did I put that box? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, it's not even on my shelf because it's a one that I'm currently working on. So I will have to go retrieve it from over here. Enterprise E, no. Robot, no. Voyager, no. Oh, and we got the shuttle bay too, and the little shuttle. There we go. Get the Reliant. Okay, so we need these 4 little coney things. And don't need the saucer.
The 3D
I'm
painter
gonna need
says,
that
please don't
piece.
forget to nollie kickflip that button, that like button, everyone.
That's right. Kick flip my like button.
And Donnie's here saying that's
Right on.
looking sweet, Jody.
Hey, Donnie. How's it going, my friend?
He says he just stopped by to caress the like button before he jumps into the shower and heads to bed.
Oh, you're caressing my like button and then you're jumping in the shower. It's usually what happens. You press my button, you're gonna need a shower. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got these two pieces. I can use that instead of using, instead of cutting this one. I can just use these two pieces. Pins be damned. We'll just put two locator pins up against each other. We'll just file them off because this is exactly what we need right here. And there's enough space in there to run wires. It's not going to have any windows, so I don't have to worry about light blocking it.
And Ricardo's here saying hello, Jody, Andrew, and everyone on chat.
Good evening, Ricardo. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Just clip this right off. And this one right off. I'll make way for the wires after. Oh, I think I need this part too. Actually, I remember my 1000 scale Reliant kit. I couldn't figure out what this part was supposed to be for. It wasn't in the instructions, and I thought it was supposed to go on the bottom of this, but it doesn't. It's a different piece that's very similar to it. Yeah. Be inside there.
And everybody's talking to Ricardo.
That'll be my pylon. So that's going to go on like that. And we've got sort of a contour here. This, I'll have to figure it out later. I want the angle, so what I'm going to do, there's a trick you do in instrument making. When you need a particular profile of something, and you have the shape. Here's that big piece of that right there. So if I get myself a piece of this paper right here, and I got some two-sided tape.
The 3D painter is saying that he's going to go subscribe to Ricardo's channel.
Ricardo doesn't make videos yet, but hopefully he will be soon.
Well, he says the camera should arrive tomorrow. I'm going to be setting it up, so maybe this Sunday will be my first stream with you guys.
Yeah, well, we'll have to. I'll talk to the rest of the group and see if everyone's open to having another person come on. I'm sure it won't be a problem. And then we have to send you a link to the stream. You can't get on unless someone sends you a link and you're invited to it. Not find my. Maybe I'm all.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem for Ricardo.
Regular two-sided tape.
I'll just make the executive decision and send him the link anyway.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the duct tape here. So I'm just gonna put that on my strip of sandpaper. Peel that. And I'll put this on my Reliant torpedo module. Stick it down as tightly as I can. And then we'll take our pylon.
So Jody, I've just sent you a link to the wire wrapping wire, the 30 gauge stuff.
Okay.
It's like $17 for a multicolor spool.
All right. So there we go. So I got that just taped together pretty securely. And now I'm just going to do this.
The 3D painter says, I'll be at Wonderfest next year with a few entries. It'll be cool to meet y'all in person.
Cool. I know you're mentioning it, and I was watching your stream today. I said you should bring that Obi-Wan riding, whatever you call it, Boga or something like that. It's the statue that he's working on. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi riding this like big dragon or something. It's like really cool. It's really big.
Ricardo says, I really appreciate guys. I hope it's no trouble
painter.
for anyone.
Of course not.
No trouble at all to let you into the live stream. And Ricardo says, that's great, Ron. We'll see you there for sure. The gang is amazingly fun and welcoming. And the 3D painter says, I will be bringing that one. I really got to get back to working on it.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just copying the profile of the photon torpedo arc there. It's not flat. It's not square. So you do this if
you just attached some sandpaper to it, and you're using that to conform it to the shape.
Yeah, exactly. So you do this if you're, say if you're trying to fit a bridge on a guitar. Most guitars aren't flat. Even the ones that you think are flat, they're not perfectly flat on the top. And a lot of times you have to conform the bridge so that it's making full contact with the soundboard, with the surface of the guitar. You don't want any gaps or raised spots where it's not making full contact. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. And you do it on, say, a neck, a guitar neck. If you wanted to repair it, you look for a spot on the neck where it still has the profile you want. You apply some sandpaper to it, and then you take a block of wood and you do the same thing I'm doing here with your wood block, and then your wood block becomes your sanding block. Then you apply the sandpaper to the block, and then you can run it up and down the rest of the guitar neck to tune in the profile and make it the same as where you originally chose from. Because a lot of times up by the headstock of the guitar will get worn out, and you lose that curvature of the neck and you lose that profile. But down by where it joins to the guitar doesn't get played a lot, so that profile gets preserved. So you can start there, usually a 3 or 4 inch long piece of sandpaper over the whole thing. You got to take the frets out of that part, but you would have them all out anyways because you're doing a refretting job. That's the only time you would want to change your neck profile, is if you're totally refretting the thing. So same way you do this right here.
The 3D painter says, once I finish doing all the scales on Boga, I can start painting her. Then it's all easy from there. Such a huge model.
Yeah, it is really big.
My sense of what a big model is has been skewed.
Well, it's, you know what? It's probably as long or maybe longer than your Enterprise D model.
Yeah.
It's not as massive, of course. It's not as big that way, but it's, like a long, it's a dragon, right? So it's long and it's thin and it curls around and it's got wings.
I was handling that 1000 scale kit to do that unboxing video, and I couldn't help thinking how small the 1000 scale Enterprise D felt after working on the 650 for so long.
Compared to the one that you've been working with, yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Martin says you should light up both sides, port and starboard, of the middle nacelles chiller grills for massive power.
That is exactly what I planned on doing, Stephen. And if you look at my small model that I had made, well, you can only see one side of the inside. But I did. This one's painted, this one doesn't have lights, but it's painted blue on the insides, and the center one is painted blue on both sides.
Now, do you have...
And that's exactly what I plan on doing here.
Do you have clear parts to put into those, Jody?
I do not. No, I do not. They're all solid. So I will have to come up with a way to cut those out. Or I don't really want to light through them. I know you can, but it's not as nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking, now, I don't know if this will work, but I have, since I'm using 3 nacelles, I'll have an extra one that I can experiment with. So what if I was just to cut through where the grooves are and just open up those grooves and have open lines all the way down? It wouldn't be easy. It would be very challenging to cut only in between those lines, but that would work, and it would be a very interesting effect.
How would you keep your cut lines straight?
Well, it keeps itself straight.
Yeah.
I would just cut right through like this, just the thickness of my blade here. I wouldn't use the Sonic Saber because it melts, but I would do it like this, and then once it's through, I would take a really thin, like maybe even one of these thin boards right here, these little sanding things. That one's even too thick, but just like even a couple layers of sandpaper, and then just go in between it just to smooth it all out. So there's barely a crack there. That's the only way I can think of, aside from cutting the whole thing away and then making my own chiller grill like I did for my small Reliant modification one that I did, the USS Trenton. I made all 4 chiller grills for that one with that lenticular plastic that I have, but I don't have any more of that clear plastic with the ridges on it. I'll have to go buy another one of those pictures that changes. That's what it was from. It's one of those pictures that changes when you turn it. And I just scraped the picture off. And I can go get one of those for like $10 at the store across the road. And it has a big sheet of the lenticular plastic on it. I just have to remove the painting.
Now, would you be
because
using...
I looked for... Go ahead. Would I be using what?
I was just going to say, would you be using... like, what kind of lights are you going to put in those chiller grills? Are you going to need to color them?
I'm going to be putting those... no, I'm going to be putting those LED noodles. I'm going to be using these noodles, and I have very long ones. So it's actually longer than the entire nacelle. So I'll be able to probably fold it sort of like this, right? Even if I fold it in half, it's long enough to reach the entire inside right there. So I'll do that, fold it in half. We got it right to each end, and it still goes over each end. So I could have this, the way that I did my Excelsior was that I had these long ones like this, and they're flimsy and wiggly. So what I did was I put it inside of a clear plastic straw.
Yep.
So I folded it like this, and I inserted it into a straw so that it would stay straight and rigid, and that worked out perfectly. I had to cut a thin piece of styrene that goes in between this to take up the space and keep it pulled taut inside the straw. So I'll probably do that. It's the right length, and it'll light both sides of it at the same time. And I think I'm going to start putting resistors on those because they're a lot brighter than they need to be. Maybe not on a larger model, but on the little models, they turn out pretty bright. What's Ron saying? Lenticular sheet 17. They sell your plastic on Amazon. Adhesive back, 5 sheets, blank, transparent, lenticular sheet, portrait, magic tricks. Yeah, that's what they make. That's what they make with them. 3D morphing pictures, zoom animation, flip image printing, optical, blah blah blah, all kinds of, yeah. But instead of doing that, because what was it, $26.50? Is that for one piece of it? Because there's a store across the street that sells cheap pictures like that, and they're like $10 or something, and it's a picture size piece of it. All I gotta do is remove the picture, which isn't hard. It just sands off. Yeah, I'm on a very limited budget, so I don't really buy things from Amazon, and I do once in a while if it's something that I absolutely necessary need, like my matte coat there. Mary ordered that for me last week. But no, I only get things that I absolutely can't do without. So I will try to find another way to do it if I can. Okay, so anyways, here we are with this. I might have to do a little bit more. It's not quite there, but it's a nice
Are the
It's a nice
are the
fit
chiller
onto
grills the
here.
same size on both model kits, or are they different sizes?
Okay, so the Enterprise, of course, on the outside of it has sort of a curved with very small lines, and the inside is flat and the lines are larger. The lines on the inside match the lines on the Reliant. They're the same size, but only the Reliant is curved like a scoop inside.
But what I mean is, if you were to remove the inside area to put a piece in there, do they take the same size piece?
Probably not. If the 1000 scale Reliant kit is anything to go by, the chiller grills from the 1000 scale Enterprise did not fit in it. Because I don't know if you remember, but when I got my 1000 scale Reliant kit, the clear sprue in the package was the clear sprue for the Enterprise. So none of the clear parts worked. I couldn't use any of the clear parts from that kit. The chiller grills did not fit the Reliant chiller grills. And the impulse engine thing was a little bit different. And so when I said that I used the impulse engine piece from the Reliant kit, it's actually from the Enterprise. But it was in my Reliant kit.
Okay.
And I was never able to use it, so it's been sitting around. So no, they wouldn't. Like if an Enterprise chiller grill won't fit in a Reliant nacelle and then vice versa. They're not exactly the same. I don't know how it is on these two. Like if I look at it, I'd have to maybe make a tape template or measure it and see if it's the same. But looking at it this way, it looks like it's going to be the same size. This one's flat and this one scoops in like a spoon, but it still looks the same size.
Yeah. If you had some parts to put in there, do you think that you could make, if they were the same chiller grill, do you think you could make them fit?
You mean if they were 3 Enterprise chiller grills or 3 Reliant chiller grills? I think I could make them work. Of course I could make them work either way. I'd be able to figure it out. Let me just see if I can that pencil's not going to be strong enough. I need a full pencil.
So Stephen Martin was saying, make a clear resin mold, bake your noodle lights right in.
So this is the Enterprise. Bake them right in. Who said that?
Stephen Martin.
Did somebody say that in the comments?
Yeah. He said, make clear resin mold, bake your noodle lights right in.
Oh, I don't know how to make molds. All right, so let's take that. Let's cut this out. And we'll see if it fits on the Reliant one. Let's put that right up against there. Oh yeah, no, look at it. Seems to be about a half an inch shorter.
Which one is shorter?
This is an outline of the one from the Enterprise.
So the Reliant's
From the
longer.
flat side. Only the chiller grill is longer. The nacelle is the same. It's actually a half a centimeter or so shorter. The nacelle is that much shorter, but the chiller grill is that much longer. And it looks like at the, let me see. It looks like the difference is at the front where that detail piece starts. You see that? If I put the two fronts right at the same level, that detail piece is a lot further back on the Reliant one. So there are pretty major differences. Well, this is Polar Lights kits, like, you know what I mean? They're not going to be consistent anyways.
Well, worse than
But
that, they're
yeah,
AMC
I didn't.
kits.
Yeah, exactly. But before I had my 1000 scale Reliant model kit and I tried fitting those Enterprise chiller grills in there, I figured the only difference in the nacelles was where they mounted to the ship. I thought they were exactly the same, except they mounted on top instead of the bottom, but they're not. They're totally different. Okay, I kind of haven't got much accomplished tonight because I've just been talking and trying to figure things out and experimenting with different techniques and seeing what I could do.
So the 3D painter is.
I haven't really done anything.
So the 3D painter is expanding on what he said earlier. Multiple sheets, $20 to $30, and you have brand new sheets. Just putting it out there for homie.
So that's not just for one sheet.
And Cosmic Quest Hobbies
Excellent.
is here, saying howdy, Jody and
Russ, how you doing, Russ? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you coming by as always. Honestly haven't figured anything out yet. That's gonna be there. Don't have a solution for reinforcing the pylons on the inside. I think this is gonna hold it in place pretty well. It's gonna be pulling it inwards from the top. Okay, so I gotta get this. These little pins are. There we go. Trying my patience. Let's get a little tape to hold that in place temporarily. There. I want to put these top parts on temporarily because I want to figure out how much I need to extend down. So the way this goes, how does that go together? There must be more to this. The inside part. Okay, that looks like it's probably going to go like that. Okay, so we need this little top part. I see. Need that. Wer ist die Ojevan? Probably still in the box. Yeah. Still in the box. Not in the box. Well, I need this piece nonetheless.
Somehow I was muted again.
That's strange. You keep having that problem.
I do.
There must be something. There must be something on your keyboard that you're pressing.
I'm not
maybe?
even. I don't. I'm not
You're not
even
near
really
it?
having my keyboard anywhere near me.
Huh. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, so there we go. That's perfect. I need to find that other one. Well, I can accomplish something right at the end. I can file these little additions on that I put down, the little trim pieces, and I can finish that. So I will actually have to have one thing accomplished. Completed.
But a live stream's not about actually accomplishing anything, is it?
Well, we figured some things out, and with your advice and your help and the advice from the viewers, I do have more ideas, and I have some things figured out. Maybe I'll try to order some of that lenticular plastic that Ron linked me with, and I'll check that out.
And what's that for? Sorry.
The lenticular plastic, it's the clear plastic with the ridges in it.
Oh, okay.
To make the chiller grills. That's
There
what
you
I've been
go.
using to make all my clear parts so far, but I ran out of it. I don't have any left. And now I cannot find the other little bit that I need. The other roll bar pylon.
So I don't think you heard me say it. That Cosmic Quest Hobbies said, I checked out that science center you told me about there in Sudbury. Looks cool and definitely reminds me of my current build.
Oh yeah, checked out some pictures of Science North. Yeah, it looks like a giant snowflake building. That's what it's meant to resemble. And Russ's project in its current state, because it's just plain white styrene so far. He's only got the the basic frame, but it radiates out at 6 points like a snowflake. And it just reminded me of Science North. I was like, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw it.
And AK says when
so
you
I
go
lost the other one like this that I had cut the top from.
off,
I have to find that.
isn't it between the pylon and the roll bar?
No, it's the other. This
Oh.
here, no.
That's not it. Okay.
This is part of it. This is the bottom half. So there should
Got
be
it.
another piece like this that has the top part. So what I did was I took the two bottoms that didn't have an extended top part so that I could put it together. So there should be another piece like this that has this on it. So all I've done was cut this away. So that I can complete, because I need it to complete this. Because that has to go down onto the top of the other nacelle, because it can't be mounted right to the nacelle. So I need this part, and I need to find that other piece. Did I drop it on the floor somewhere? It's not in the box. It's not in that bag. It was in the garbage.
Oh, that's not a good place for it.
I thought I was done with this sprue, so I tossed it out, but it's right here. So I just need the top little bit of it. Snap that off. I'm going to throw this in the garbage now, but I won't. I will keep it because I might be able to use that the rest of that piece somehow. Because with these two pieces, then I'll have another little pylon of something that I can use. Okay.
Cosmic Quest Hobby says I checked out that. Oh, I already read that, but I didn't start it. AK said when you go offline from plants, it always takes some trial and error. You were productive from the sense of getting a sense of what you need to do.
Yes. Just get rid of this little, not flash, but from where I cut it and bent it and cut it off. Okay, so those two will be like this. I could almost put this together. And then it's just a matter of clearing out the middle, which won't be hard. This will be a lot easier for me to work on if it's together. Just like so. Because I can clear out space for the wires just with a drill. Tori is upset.
I was wondering what that noise was.
Yeah, that's Tori. He's in the bedroom. He's probably either trying to get pets because it's getting late and it's actually past the time that he's supposed to go to bed, but our kid is gone to her friends for the night, so it's harder for us to wrangle him and put him in the cage than it is for our daughter. She just scoops him up like he's a potato and brings him to the cage. I get within, he knows what's going on. I get within 5 feet of him and he flies away. And then if you try to chase him around, it just gets even worse. You got to kind of just let him relax and then sneak up on him when he's, you pet him or something, or you give him some food and keep him busy, and then you can pick him up and get him into the into the cage for bedtime. Okay. So there and there. Here and here. Like so. Okay. Oops. Went flying right out of my fingertips. Clips on there.
AK says that is so funny about Tori. Our dash hound Jojo goes into his crate at 9 and wants us to cover it up so he can go to sleep.
Oh, he wants to? Well, it also depends on what time. Like we try to be consistent on what time we let the bird out in the morning. But occasionally we'll get busy and we're not back home in time or something like that. And sometimes he stays in there for an hour or so longer than usual. And if that happens, he's not ready for bed at this time. It's like a teenager. Well, I slept in half the day, so I might as well stay up late at night. All right, so these little pieces are stuck together. That goes this way. It fits in really nicely to there. Wish I could glue it to the one downward piece. I probably could. I could probably safely attach this to right here where it's supposed to go. That. I wonder if these little round things will help me line that up. I bet you they would. I bet you they would. Now, these people normally light these. Am I going to have to put little fiber optics in there? I'm not going to have flashing, firing lights. So it'll just either be on or not. Like if I have that on, then it's just going to look like there's always a laser on.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll just leave that and not put lights in those. I know Ken and Jordan put lights in theirs, but they have a control board that they can turn them on and off, right?
They
to
do,
fire
yes.
them. Yeah, I don't want to just have them on. Like I did on my Voyager for the photon torpedoes at the front and the back. I just put red lights on so they're like always lit, right? It's always on. There's no flashing it and firing it like you have on your Enterprise where you can fire the torpedoes. It just always shows that it's glowing, like it's about to fire one. But to make this easier, I think we're just gonna leave it the way it is. I'm already making it too complicated. But what I want to do is get this attached to the bottom of here. Because I can't really do anything else until it is. I can't. Like, I could figure out, I could mount this onto here, because that's where it's going to go. It's going to be like this, right? And
aren't you going to want to light the inside first?
Well, yeah, I don't mean like right now, but that's going to be like that, and then this is going to be on here. But I can't figure any of this out until it starts coming together. Like, I pretty much have to get the Enterprise built before I can put this onto the two nacelles. You know what I mean? I have to have all this stuff put together before I can add this.
What's the underside of the roll bar look like?
Pretty much the same.
Like is the but the pod isn't attached.
It is to the pod is attached. The top piece is like a cap.
Okay.
So all the tops, like if I remove this, there. So the whole thing is one piece on the bottom. So there's the bottom of the roll bar. That's all one piece. And then the top of the roll bar is separate pieces.
Okay, so that might make your wiring a little easier, because you could put
because I can
put the bottom
this together
on
and have this open still. Yeah,
and connect all your wiring.
Exactly. But I'll have to build this in like components. Right? So I'll have to build this with the lights in and wires that I need. I'll have to build each nacelle separately. And then, the secondary hull, the saucer, I'll have to build it all in components and then put it together. Yeah. So
you'll want to.
But the thing is, I have to. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so that you can connect everything together, you'll want to keep those top pieces off until you've got all the wiring connected, and then you can put those pieces on as caps.
Yes, absolutely. But the thing is, this piece has part of that part on it. So that's why I was trying to put this together and glue it, because I kind of would want to get this needs to be attached at least to the bottom of right here. This part needs to be attached to this part in order for me to start putting it together. Like, I can put everything wired here, but then I just got wires sticking out of here, and it's useless until this is on.
Yeah, but you won't want to connect the wires at the nacelle. You'll want to bring wires up from the nacelles so that you can put them into the roll bar and then connect them all up in the roll bar.
Connect the wires up in here?
Yeah,
I was gonna build this and have the wires out. And then I wasn't going to have them even connected to the nacelle. They'd be running through it, but they'd be on a separate, I don't know. Like, I don't want to run power to this and then off of this to this.
Yes, because you're going to have to run your wires up the main pylons. And then you'll have to run at least, so one side, you'll have to run the wires up the pylons through the nacelle, out the top of the nacelle and into the roll bar, because you'll need to light that other nacelle. So you'll want to
have power coming out of here, but it's not going to be coming off the lights that are in here. It'll be coming through here.
Yeah. So you'll want, when you build, you'll want to build the Enterprise portion, and you'll want those wires to come out the top and be long coming out the top. Yeah. And then you'll put the roll bar on, and you'll be able to join it up in the roll bar. You don't want to try joining it up inside the nacelle.
No. I'll have to add. Okay, I get you. I was thinking the other way, joining it up like inside here, bringing it down from this, leaving it long from here, and then running them down through
Yeah, you're gonna find it so much easier joining it up in the roll bar, especially if the top
Yeah.
goes on as a cap.
So when I build this nacelle, I'm just gonna take 2 wires and have them coming out the top, and then have
Right.
them coming into the ship that have
Yeah.
nothing to do with this nacelle. They're just running through it.
Yeah, and then join up the nacelles with the bottom piece of the roll bar, but leave the
Yeah.
top pieces off so that you can then do all your wiring and then close it off. You might need
Yeah,
to tape the top pieces of the roll bar together just so that you can get that little piece attached at the right angle.
Yeah, that's the thing. This needs to be in the right spot
Yeah,
to
but like
attach this.
just tape it on and then just glue it to the bottom piece. Don't glue it to the top piece so
Yeah.
that you can still put the top piece back on later.
No, it needs to be just glued. We can see how it goes together here.
Yeah.
So
Paul,
I need to just glue the bottom part of it.
Paul Tackett's here saying sup.
Hey, Paul. Nice to see you, my friend. Good to have you in the stream. Welcome.
Andy says it sounds like Andrew. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Some unknown person producing
Please
for him
say
tonight.
garage. Please say garage. Are you talking to me or are you talking to Andrew? Because I say garage. Andrew says garage because he has British heritage.
You see, the British do not have an accent. It is merely the proper way to pronounce your words.
We are the ones with the accents.
And so you put your carriage in your garage.
Yes.
He says, that's how I know.
Here's the neck. This is dry. It's past 11. I don't know how long you intend on sticking around for, Andrew, but just so you know, it's after 11 o'clock. Okay, so get a little bit more of this into here.
How long are you planning on going?
Well, I wanna just kind of trim this up and get that finished so I can say that I accomplished at least something. One thing.
Paul says
Just
the Brits say petro. They actually say petrol. There's an L on the end. Petrol.
Petrol. Yeah.
Petrol.
Petrol.
I'm going to stop at the petrol station.
Petroleum.
Going to make a quick stop at the petrol station. I don't have to make any stops at the petrol station.
Gotta fill up my lorry.
And I might as well get a package of crisps while I'm there.
Some crisps. Okay, well, I guess I didn't have glue right to the ends, as I thought I did. Or it just didn't stick. Don't like.
Yeah, I won't be
this
able to stick with it you too much longer.
glue. Well, that's all right. I'm just trimming up the end of this this little trim piece I put on here, and I'm going to be calling it a night myself.
Just remember to please mind the gap.
Yes.
He says, for your flat.
I live in a flat. There, like that. Now, where's my little pony? My little pony. There it is. So I want to put another piece of it along the front. Oh, what happened? Funny because the angle won't be the same, so it's going to have to be a wider piece. It's going to have to be 4 ridges wide instead of 3 because of the way that angle is.
You must have some sort of noise gate on your microphone because it's not picking up any of your working noise.
Oh yeah, yo, I have the. Let me look at my setting. I have the noise cancellation on. Yeah, reduce mic background noise.
Ah, it doesn't filter out Tori though.
No, I wonder why. Because he's far away. Like he's really far away, and it's barely audible. Like I can probably hear that less than you can hear in your headphones. Like I barely hear him going tweet 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 tweet. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good.
Paul says, "Shouldn't you be running wires for a light kit?" He will.
I'm gonna be running wires, but right now what I'm doing is modifying the components. Like I made this neck about half an inch shorter. So I added like a little trim piece here just to make the seam look a little bit nicer. I'm going to be drilling out all the windows. Like this piece is glued together, but I can still add lights and run wires to this. It's not a big deal, right? I just got to put an LED in the back and an LED in the front. And for the photon torpedo launchers, I can add lights to all this while it's together. That's not a problem for me. The main problem for me is figuring out the logistics of putting this together as this shape, because when I did this one, this is a one-piece Enterprise 3D printed, and this Reliant was one-piece thing that I had separated from the solid Reliant, so it went together real easy. It was just a matter of me gluing it on there.
Can I give you one thing to think about?
Sure.
One design element to think about, because if you go back to that photo,
you want me to bring that back?
Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing is that you've got the swept back pylons of the refit. So they're going one way, but your roll bar is going the other.
Yeah.
Would you consider turning the roll bar around?
Of course, that wouldn't be a problem.
That way they kind of...
I would even cut these off and flip those around so this is the right way. Because if I turn that around, then this is the wrong way, and the wide part is pointing backwards.
Could be rear pointing photons, because you've already got.
Well, it has them on both sides.
Yeah,
it has front and rear ones.
It would almost be more aerodynamic if the narrow part was in the front.
It does.
I mean, not that you need aerodynamics
don't matter. No, but it makes for a nice look. It looks cooler. Like those pylons don't need to be swept back, but it certainly looks cooler than the original Enterprise where they're straight up and down.
Yeah. But I was just thinking if they were running in the same direction, it might look a bit more cohesive. Right?
So if I was to have the absolutely. I agree with you and I see the point. So that would be like that. Let me see if I can get a pylon here.
And if you strategically, you could even strategically place it so it's almost like if you placed it a little bit further back, it's almost like a continuation of the pylon.
Kind of does come up that way. Oh, I wonder if I could flip these around. so that the wider end is
You might be
going
able
to
to.
the nacelle, just like this, right? You got the wider part
Yeah.
attached to the nacelle. I'd do the same thing with this. So I could cut cut this off and flip it that way. Well, cut this off and flip it right around that way. So we're like this.
We'll just try it with your try it with that.
So we'd be something like that. And
You wouldn't need
this
those.
could even be the way you want. No, then I
Yeah.
wouldn't need those. But I still need to come down. This can't go right on like this. It needs to be lifted. Because if it's not, then the nacelle is going to end up right behind the saucer section, right up against the impulse drive. We don't want this to be like that. It needs to be up above it.
Yeah, but that's not dictated. The middle one, got it.
Yeah, the middle one. So I need to either, I could make this shorter, right? So the middle one will be like this. It's mounted like that and it attaches to the bottom of this. So I could make this pylon shorter, as short as I want, right? And I could also have this coming up or down, right? I would have to put it together and then see what it looks like. I wonder if I could do a mock-up with some cardboard and just play around with the shape of it. Yeah, you're giving me new ideas that I never thought of before. I like the idea of turning these around so that they are more, you know what I mean? Sort of more, still though, it's not even
because that's the regular way and that's the turned around way.
Yeah, this is backwards. And this is the forward way. I don't know. Maybe it's just the angle of my photo here.
Because your pylons are angling backwards, but your roll bar angles forwards, right? I'm just wondering if it would make it look a little more cohesive.
I think it would. I like the idea of flipping it around that way.
It's just a thought. Paul says, "Okay, you are modding." Well, of course, Trek.
Yes,
mod.
sir.
It's not. It's not Trek out of the box.
The only model I built so far that's not modified was my little Voyager.
But you modded the paint scheme.
I modded the paint scheme, yeah, but I didn't change the shape of the ship.
And Paul says
any of the components.
Paul says there should be rear-mounted photon launch bays.
Oh, there will be. There will be on this. There will be. I do like how this neck turned out, though, so far. That's going to go up like that. It's just a little more compact. So that is also going to give me a little bit more space between I don't have to worry as much about my nacelle getting too close because I did shorten that neck, so I'm dropping the saucer down a bit.
Yeah.
So those nacelles will be up a little bit higher, and then that roll bar will be up even higher than that. Yeah, it totally changes the whole profile of the ship. It makes it much taller. And like as a whole, you know what I mean? From the bottom of the belly to the top of this part here, it increases the height.
Well,
I'm going to get out of here. I will, yeah.
I was just going to say you could dry fit it together a little bit and just see where that third nacelle would kind of sit now that you shortened that that neck.
Yeah, well, tape fit it together if I can.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this model. Nothing of it locks in. It's not a snap together
Yeah.
model at all. You can't push pieces together and get them to stay. You need to
Just
tape everything
enough,
and glue it together, but
just enough so that you can see where things kind of land.
yeah, exactly. That's what I need to do. That's why I was trying to put this together, and that's why I was trying to put the little end pieces on, so that that's why I was working on the contour of this, just so that I could sort of dry fit it together and get an idea of the shape and do this. Because as I said, it's not like the other one as simply as just gluing that on. I have to put all these pieces together and see how they fit in relation to each other.
Yeah.
And then there's like reinforcing I got to do, and there's modifying that I have to do just to make it fit. Even if I wasn't modifying the model, there's things I have to do to it to make it go together. I don't know. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew.
I don't think so.
It was good to have you. It was good to have you helping me along for tonight anyways, Andrew. I appreciate
No
that.
problem.
You gave me some sound advice and some very useful tips tonight, which I appreciate. And I also just appreciate your company and talking with you and having you in my chat and taking care of the comments for me. Appreciate that. And everyone else, Johnny, AK, Cameron, Paul Tackett. Paul, one of the coolest guys I ever met in my life. Really excellent person. Who else we got here? Ron, the 3D painter. Shark. Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo, for coming by. Donnie stopped by for a little bit. Good to see Donnie. Steve Martin. Thank you, as always, Steve. Another really excellent person. Not to say that Donnie isn't also. Felix Herrera. Thank you, Felix, for coming by. And my lovely Mary McLeod. My wonderful lady. And Doug, of course, Doug. Good to see you here, Doug. Appreciate that. Doug's got a cool Starfleet comm badge tattoo that he showed us on Discord, which I thought was pretty neat. All right, guys, let me see if I can find this this thing here. We have...
What thing are you looking for?
Where do I find that?
What thing are you looking for?
That is in the overlay. It's in banners.
Are you looking for the schedule?
Assets?
Are you looking for the schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in media assets and overlays. It's right here.
Where is it? Yeah.
Overlay.
Oh, there we go. Found it. I have this weird mouse that when I press it just a little bit, it, yeah. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh. Come on. Computer. I clicked that like 10 seconds ago, and it finally came on. I noticed you already had it on, but because I didn't know it was already up. I'm terrible at this. There's our schedule, you guys. Come and check us out. We all do solo streams during the week. Tomorrow will be Jordan with A Line in the Stars. I'm not sure what he's going to be working on, but it's always fun to watch. It's always interesting. Friday is our group stream. There will be a bunch of us on there. We'll be having fun. And Saturday is Canadian Starships. My friend right here, Andrew, will be working on the 650 scale Enterprise D. And that thing is almost done, and it's looking fantastic. So,
well, the first of the two is almost done.
Watch that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be watching you Saturday, Andrew. I will be at my birthday party, having some
well, have a happy 30th.
So I am afraid I'll miss your stream on Saturday, but I will stop in for a like and a hi.
Have a happy 30th.
Sunday is our another group stream. Happy 30th. I'm turning 52. The big old 52. So yeah, and then on Monday we got Don's modeling desk. He started his 350 scale, and he hasn't done much so far, but what he did do is pretty fantastic and looks great so far. That's going to be a nice model. I picked up the large scale Klingon bird of prey at Wonderfest, so that should be fun. That'll be nice to do. And Tuesday we got Keith over at Bricks and Sprues, and he's in the middle of this big Lego block car. It's a Mercedes, and it's pretty nice. And I don't know how close he is to finishing it. It looks so complex and complicated. I can't believe that they could even design a car like that with blocks, and it's gonna look like it's way more complex than those ships or that Willy Wonka thing. It just looks crazy. I can't believe I would never attempt it myself. No, thank you. So there we go. I've clicked off of that, and it took a few seconds for it to. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my computer, guys. It won't even scroll. There we go. Click comments. All right. Okay, so yeah, tune into all of us this week. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the group live stream. I look forward to seeing all you guys in the chat again, and let's roll that beautiful starship footage, and I'm out of here. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate you being here for me tonight.
Have a good night.